Hi there, my name is Kronenberg and welcome to my channel. This is a film review of Killer Piñata, a horror comedy film. Came out in 2015, it's rated 16 plus and it's an hour and 24 minutes. Amazon rating is 4 out of 5, IMDb is 4.2 out of 10. The Amazon and the IMDb synopsis are identical, so I'll just read the Amazon one. A possessed piñata, seeking to avenge the savagery that humanity has inflicted on its kind, picks off a group of friends one by one in an unending night of terror. So the director is Stephen Tramontana, Tramontana, who directed Grindhouse. Producer is Jennifer Kunkel, Kunkel, who produced A Very Tight Place. Music was by Ryan Aldrich, who did the music for A Very Tight Place, and Paul Summers, who also did A Very Tight Place. The cast, I picked the main ones obviously, there's a few more, but I've just picked the main ones to do with the house. We have Billy Chengry, Chengary, who was Scott, who was in Between the Lines, a series. Eliza-Jane Morris, who was Lindsay Goodman, was in Uptown. Lindsay Ashcroft, who was Rosetta Stone, was in Zero Absolution. Nate Bryan, who was Brad, was in Kings, and Daniel Hawkes, who was Martin, who was in Good Vibrations. Now locations, it says here Logan Square, Chicago, Illinois. We have Dulcelandia. It actually gives the address as well, 3855 West Fullerton, I assume that's what W means, West Fullerton Avenue in Chicago, and that was the candy store. And then Logan Liquors, 2639 N Kedzie Avenue. I didn't even know there was a liquor store in the film, but apparently there was. And it actually only cost $5,000 to create, to film, whatever. So it literally starts... I think the trailer shows it, I can't remember off the top of my head. So let me just have a look at the trailer. So it starts off at the beginning. There's a woman in a purple hat, and she's sort of walking around with a hawk. I'm just watching the trailer now whilst I'm talking to myself. And there's a dead girl there. There's a piñata on the floor, and her face is a picture. It just cracked up when she saw it. It's just like just seeing if it's on the trailer. If it's not, then I've just spoiled a little bit, but it's literally the very beginning. There's nothing really happening. Then the credits kick in and the intro music was very good, so hats off to those two for doing the music. So at the beginning you can see the kid choosing, in fact it's in the trailer as well, the kid choosing a piñata, and there's 3 of them he can choose. He picks one, and he doesn't pick the main one obviously. And whilst the dad's walking away to a tree to hang it from, there's this sad music, kind of like not kind of like classical, but really sad classical kind of music, while the piñata sort of looking at, the one that's killer, sort of looking ahead, sort of looking sadly towards it, and it's like it's like, oh, poor little thing. I did feel sad for the poor little piñata actually. I felt sad for the other one actually, to be honest, the purple one. Music was working very well though with the scene. It was perfect track. I don't know what they used, but it was very good. There's not much really to say about the film. Well, there is loads to say about the film. It's fantastic. The piñata's nudging the broken ones like he's sad, so he finds the broken one on the floor and he sort of nudges it with his nose. It's kind of like, is it dead? Is it dead? I actually saw the first death. It was actually very interesting. Not what I was expecting. Quite interesting way. And it's funny actually as it sneaks around the corners. It's quite funny watching it sneak around the corners and stuff like this. Oh, you do see the one with the purple hat and Hulk. Just watching the trailer now. So the lights go out as they do as a horror film, and Scott sort of says, please tell me it's in the basement. So the girlfriend goes, yeah, it's in the basement. Awesome, he replies. I must admit, it's the cleanest basement I've ever seen in my life. You know, maybe that's how they are in some American homes, but whatever. I used to have a basement. It used to be an absolute mess. Just have a slab of concrete down there for some bizarre reason. Don't get me started on that one. That was a pain to lift out. Anyway, it was interesting also to find out how it became evil. It was a very interesting way. I thought that's not what it is, because you normally don't find out. Like, I watched Beery or something, and you kind of found a little bit, but not much. Whereas this was very good. There's a fantastic montage. So basically, what's her name says, can't remember who it was now. Scott's girlfriend says, we don't have any weapons, Scott. And then he goes, let's have him make some. And then the montage music kicks in, and it's fantastic how they make him. You kind of see it in the trailer with the weapon, but when you see the actual montage, it's fantastic. The music works so well. It's the best montage I've seen. I think the typical ones are like the A-Team, where they sort of get, if you've ever seen the old 80s A-Team, where they get stuck into a building and they've got nothing there, and yet they produce some sort of machine gun or something. It's kind of like that. It's fantastic how they did it. I was just cracking up. I did see one death that was pretty intense. I've only actually seen it in one other horror. It was a kind of a an upmarket horror that most people have heard of. I don't want to name the horror in case, because that obviously will then tell you exactly what it is. But this time was actually more intense than that one. It was like, oh, okay. I thought, oh, okay. Cringing away. But yeah, the whole film was great. The ending was good. It was great music. It was great killing scenes. I loved how the piñata sort of killed them and moved around. There were some bits were like, oh my god, you know what, really? But because it says, you know, it's so bad, it's just so good, if that makes sense. It does say actually in IMDb that it took 8 days to record the whole thing, you know, to shoot the whole thing. Because I was watching the entire credits going up, it was still quite funny, you know, little bits and bats quoting things and talking about the sound guy. I think there was like about 5 different people did the sound for it. Because they just said whoever happened to be there. I was cracking up in various things. Some people didn't. I mean, I read the reviews, and some people gave it a rating of, you know, 1. It's like, yeah, I know, because you're basing it based on horror films of the day. You know, just ignore that. Think it's a budget film, and then enjoy it. Like I say, I was cracking up by the montage, the weapons and stuff. I'm actually giving it a glorious 6. Now, you probably say, what the hell? Why? And it's because I enjoyed it. It made me laugh. That was obviously a horror comedy as well. It made me laugh. There were bits that were kind of like a bit, ugh. There were bits that didn't make any sense, like, I'm not going to explain it, but there was a tree branch, and a bit of string was the toughest piece of string in the world. It was set in a house that was very, I would say, normal size house for America. Not the typical ones that we normally see, where they're usually detached with a sprawling garden and a big oak tree in the front garden. And I mean, obviously, I'm assuming people have these houses, but not in a typical suburb. It looked like it was in a not the expensive end of wherever it is, because when they went into the in the alleyway, there were other houses backed up. You know, you can see other gardens that were all like brick. It was kind of like the terrace houses in the UK. It's so weird. I haven't normally seen this. You know, you don't see this. You see them always in the sprawling gardens, and even when they open the back garden, they usually got a huge garden and they've got no one around. You know what I mean? But with this, it's literally like the terrace houses in the UK. If you don't know what they are, have a look. But yeah. But yeah, so I'm giving it a 6. I enjoyed it. I thought it was very good, and that's why I'm giving it a high rating. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed watching and listening to this film review of Killer Piñata. Please subscribe to my channel. I've got plenty of other film reviews. Mainly I do game reviews and let's plays, but I do touch on some film reviews now. Give me your thumbs up if you liked the video. Leave a comment in the comment box below if you watched this film. There is a sequel apparently, I think. Did you enjoy it? If you did. If you didn't, well, I know probably why you didn't, but there you go. Okay, well, thank you and goodbye.